Hey, welcome back to Her Restored Spirit podcast. I'm jumping on here real quick to remind you about my workshop tomorrow. I am finally home. I have the house to myself. It is quiet. Well, I have the dogs here, and Pig, our Marshmallow, the hedgehog, who we lovingly called Pig. So tomorrow I have a workshop, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we are going to talk about motivation. So many times we talk about how we need more motivation, how we want more motivation, how we've got to have motivation. I'm not motivated. I don't have the motivation to do that. I wish I had more motivation. And yet we don't actually know what that means. We don't actually explore, okay, well, how do we get it? We don't look at things that we've done. We don't look at who we are. We don't look at the things that work and what don't work. We look at what other people and we see what they have and we want it. We want it. We see what they did and they're like, oh, we just assume that it's natural within them, right? We assume that we're not blessed with motivation. And it's so wrong. We all need motivation. We all can have motivation. We can also intentionally gather motivation. So why is it so important that we get this elusive thing that we all talk about and want? And there's times we say we want motivation, but really what we want is we want to not do anything. We want to just sit and feel sorry for ourselves, or maybe not feel sorry for ourselves, but we want to sit and relax. We want to I got home 2 days ago, and I immediately started cleaning. It looked like my kids had left for camp in a hurry. And what do you know? That's what I came back to. And then yesterday, so I cleaned. Yesterday, I was like, you know what? There's an organization project that I want to do. I think it's a great idea. It won't be that hard to do it. It will really make the kitchen a little more organized, and it'll give me the visibility of, I won't dance around it. What it was all the containers, all of the glass and plastic containers that you use for food storage. Typically, you have more lids than containers. You have random things that you're like, Cool It container. I don't even use Cool It. All those things, the things that you've saved from like the soup containers from restaurants that you get like to-go cups and stuff. And because those are amazing, great for freezing soups and sauces in. You have all of that stuff and it just gets to be a mess. And I was like, I want to get that organized, but I want to move where it is so it's actually visible. Because right now it's underneath. It's like, in order to do something like that, to take that endeavor, you're going to have to, you need to be motivated. So what I did was I was asking myself, okay, what does it look like when it's done? How am I going to feel when it's done? And then I went for it. Am I completely done? No, there's always the stray lids. Those will be taken care of today. And when I did that, I actually had the motivation to do something again, to do something more. But it didn't start with motivation. So how do we get motivation? How do you get motivated? Because the way you will get motivated is not the same way that I get motivated. It's not the same way that Susie down the street gets motivated. And it's also we're not going to keep the motivation the same way. That is what we're talking about. Who doesn't want more motivation? Who wouldn't love being able to motivate yourself when you want to? I'm going to say, I won't say all the time, because let's face it, sometimes we use lack of motivation as a privilege, as a reason to stay still. That's not always a bad thing. Not always a good thing either. But as I'm going through the notes for the workshop and I'm excited about it, and I want you there. I want you to come because we have an impact to make. We impact our families, we impact our communities, we impact the people around us. We can have a joyful life. We can have an exciting life and one that we love. And if we're not motivated, we'll never get it because it doesn't just happen. It doesn't, we don't, things just fall in our lap. We work for it. We make choices for it. We earn it. We're given it something, but it's not just like we sit on the couch and be like, life land on me. This whole like manifestation, I won't get there, that just say it out in the world and it will come to you. I think those same people are still doing the affirmations and still doing the manifestation. And what do you know? I mean, I read that text. Not the text. That was an IG post. I read the post that said, whoever reads this is going to come in contact and receive $10,000 in the next 72 hours. Well, it's been like a week and I still haven't gotten my $10,000. So that's not like that. Where that is not this kind of workshop because yeah, I'm just going to leave that there and shift gears because I could go in a whole different way. But I just want you to know who you are. I want you to figure out why you do the things you do, figure out why you're getting the same results, find out why you're not motivated, and so that way you can change it and overcome it. Wouldn't that be amazing to be able to look at what's going on, look at the decisions you're making, and be able to change them accordingly to what result you want versus this is comfortable, this is what I always do, this is my pattern, this is safe, this is what I see everyone else doing. God didn't make you like everybody else. God did not make you like everybody else. There are similarities. I was listening to that song Relate. I want to say by King and Country, but I could be wrong because I wasn't going to bring this. Anyway, it's a Christian song called Relate. And it says that I don't know what it's like to be you. You don't know what it's like to be me, but we're both kind of same in different ways. Like we know what it's like to be really happy. We know what it's like to be really sad. We know what it's like to grieve. We know what it's like to change. So even though we don't have those same exact experiences, the human emotions are very similar. But God did not make you the same as he made me. The impact that I can make is not the same impact that you can make. And if I'm not making the impact that I was called to make, then how can I help you make your impact? How can you help your kids make your impact? How can you help your husband or your partner or your people? How can you help your people make an impact? It all goes to knowing who you are, knowing how God wired you, and then actively stepping into it. So wouldn't you want to know why you do the things you do? Like Paul says, I do the things I don't want to do, and I don't do the things I need to do. Do you know why? Do you want to know why? In my coaching program, that is exactly what we talk about. I walk you through, there is a specific journey to discovering our fears and learning who we are and finding our confidence and looking at what motivates us and all of these things that make us who we are. And so we can make an impact. So we can really step into who God's called us to be. And so we can be in obedience to what God's calling us to, because I know, if I know anything about you, I know from when I knew that there was more, when I didn't know why I did the things I did, but I just allowed them to happen because they're comfortable. And I was miserable because I was doing the same things over and over. I don't want that for you. And I don't think you want it for you either. But if nothing changes, you are not going to be able to make this impact that you want. This impact that's on your heart, this relationship that you have with your people around you. You're not going to be able to have that fully until you make a change. And until you know who you are and who God created you to be. So please, 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 please join the workshop. It is the way to join it is to join my membership. If you just want to come to the workshop and you don't want to, you just want a one time, there is a link in the show notes for a one time, come to the workshop, get a taste of it, and see what happens when you actively seek change. What happens? What becomes possible? And if you can figure out what motivates you, then you can intentionally motivate yourself. And that's why we're starting with what, the how. Like, let's talk about why we need motivation and what it does and what motivates us. So join me in the workshop tomorrow, the 13th. If you're hearing this and it's after the 13th, do not fret. There will be a replay. There'll be a link. If you join the membership, you will automatically get the replay. If you want it, if you want the replay, like DM me, just send me and just say replay, just on Instagram, Facebook, however you want to message me, email me, and just say replay, and I will get you the link for the replay. But come live because it's interactive. It's a lot more fun with more people. So we can talk and so we can see how we are different, but we're the same. And how, though I can't relate directly to everything you're talking about, how our stories are similar. So join me so I don't have to be by myself. I know there's a few of you who are already committed to coming, so I'm really excited that you're here. And I cannot wait. So with that, choose joy, friend, until joy chooses you. See you tomorrow.